Well, good morning everybody. Let's have a quick look at it. Look, here we go. 14th already, 14th of April. Now I'm going to try and be quite brief with this. My brother Chris used to say, when you get into politics or when you get into controversial subjects or things that might rub up the wrong way with some people, you can't get into trouble if you ask a question. I'm not making an accusation. This is far from being any kind of conspiracy theories and the nonsense that's going on right now. And I won't go into that long-winded at all. You know about stuff like nonsense like this. Supposedly COVID-19 is linked to G5. Well, I can tell you from what I've seen about it, it's not true, but I'm not going to get into that argument now. I'm going to get into a related matter though, and it is simple. Now this anti-malaria drug, and it's my fault for not looking up the name of it, but President Trump was talking about it and saying it can't hurt. Well, it can't hurt either. By the way, if you take any of the drugs, this drug is, I think, something like 80 years old or something. It's well proven. It's anti-malaria. It does work. If any drugs or any antibiotics and that sort of thing are taken completely as directed, they do not cause any problem. They will cure basically what they set out to cure. And I'll give you an example of that. And this is a very typical thing, by the way. I had a condition here in the bowel. It was called diverticulitis. Oh, you talk about pain. It was a serious pain. Anyway, I went to the doctor, and he said, he described it. He said, you've got that. Yes, I concur. Take this. Here, I'll give you a script for these antibiotics. He said, take them for the 5 days. By the 3rd day, you'll be happy as Larry. Everything's done, right? But take it for the full 5 days, and it's gone. And guess what happened? It disappeared. Now, I've had a number of illnesses, like everybody is listening and seeing this. I've had many things. They go to the doctor, provided it is a viral thing, provided it's not a cold or something that you can't really cure by antibiotics. Now, with the COVID-19, this medicine that they say about the anti-malaria, and forgive me for not knowing the name, but I could put it down in the notes, but you probably know what I'm talking about. It is said that it works. It kills malaria for a start, but if you take it as directed, I understand twice a day for a certain period of time, a few days, it's a bit like any antibiotics. Well, bingo, goodbye COVID-19. Now, you straight away got to ask the question, well, you've got people in hospital, they're dying every day. Look at New York, it's terrible. Is it going to hurt to give them a couple of anti-malaria tablets? Through the drip, probably. They've got the ventilator on, they're dying, Put it in the drip, and guess what happens? After the 3rd day, off goes the ventilator. And the person in the bed says, "Hey, I feel fantastic. Gee, I could do with some bacon and eggs. I'm ready, raring to go." And they say, "Well, I'll keep you in for 2 or 3 more days." And I'm just excited. I'm on my way. You're cured. Ta-da! You're on your way. Now, wouldn't they say straight away, "Wow, that works. Try it with another patient." Well, how about that? It works. It's a known medicine. It's been around, I think, 80 years or something. Right. Now, I'm not talking conspiracy theory as such here, although I'm touching on it, you might say. They talk about, and I've seen plenty of this on our local television here in Australia, it might take 12 months or even 18 months to develop a vaccine that really works. Yeah? Well, what if the anti-malaria drug works? Well, the answer is you don't need the vaccine. You just don't need it because anyone who gets the stuff, oh, pretty sick. Give it to them, 3 days later they're on their way. Now, if just take their word for it in a sense, and it's a vaccine that is genuine, that is really effective, and will prevent COVID-19. Well, that's fine. If it's voluntary, by the way, that's fine. Oh, it's like the flu. I don't take the flu vaccine, incidentally. Now, some people could jump up and down and argue about that. You should take it every year. My friend Tom Rice says, I take it every year without fail. That's fine. Once again, that's a personal desire. If you want it, if you don't want it, my doctor said to me, you had your flu jab? No, doc, haven't had it. Oh, okay, all right then. It's not compulsory. But if they're talking in conspiracy terms, let's say, oh, we're going to get the vaccine and we're going to give it to everybody we're going to compel them. That's a different story. All I got to say about this is a simple thing. They admit that it's 12 to 18 months, and some medical people are so alarmist about it that we may never find a vaccine. Well, I'm not going to argue whether it's going to take 12 months or 18 months. I'm saying the lockdowns and the stuff we've been suffering now cannot last 12 to 18 months. You cannot, even if you want a conspiracy theory, spend billions of dollars and flood the entire world with the vaccine and give everyone the jab, and they get off to the cinema, they get off on a plane, they get off to the beach, no more lockdowns. We cannot tolerate that amount of time. Now, I would say that more and more people have got to ask the question, if you have something that works and you can demonstrate it on people who are dying after all, and it works and they get up after 3 or 4 days and they're running around, why can't you flood the world with that same medication? And just say, right, anytime someone gets sick, take that. Even if it's precautionary. Even if you got the flu, I would put it to you, this is hypothetical, you understand. You get the flu and you think, oh dear, it could be no COVID-19, I hope not. You take that medication for 3 days, and if it's COVID-19, you get up again and say, fine, I'm up and around. It's done. You've just got rid of it. If it's the flu, you take something that's recommended for the flu, or you do the simple things. You have a rest, you drink plenty of water, and whatever's required to get over the flu, and you get back to work and all the rest of it. We don't shut the world down like it is now. I mean, I'm a rail enthusiast and I want to go out and ride a few trains, and I've actually booked a train from Brisbane up to Longreach and Winton for October. I'm hoping and praying, literally, that all of that will be over and done and we're running around again. But I've got to ask you the simple question in closing on this. As they won't get the vaccine, good or bad, if you know what I mean, for 12 to 18 months, why would they take, as they're talking about, by the way, gradually loosening these terrible situation where you got stay at home over Easter, stay at home. If they're starting to say, well, okay, well, keep your distances going there, wash your hands frequently during the day. I'd put up with that. Every time you go shopping or whatever, wash your hands and desanitize, use the sanitizer. I'd say fine. I went out once and had the gloves and the mask, and I felt stupid. I said that to people. I went, okay. I went and did what I was urged to do. But we can't live like that for the next 12 to 18 months. And even then, imagine distributing this vaccine. Would take ages to distribute it. So I think you've got my point. In other words, it's only asking the question: has the COVID-19 in effect got a cure that they know about? Get them to say, well, we're going to try on X number of patients on this drug you're talking about. It's perfectly safe. There's no side effects if you take it correctly. And people who criticised President Trump for talking about it are got a political agenda. Sure, he shoots off occasionally and carries on about it. But what if he's right that the thing works? Get it out there and say, oh, you feel like you got it, well, take it. Guess what will happen? After a while, it's what they call crowd immunity. And what that means, folks, to simplest of terms, is we've got crowd immunity to the flu. You get the flu, right, you isolate yourself for a few days, you take some medication, you have a rest, and you get better. It doesn't destroy the economy. It doesn't ruin everything. There's 80% of the planes of the world are on the ground. All the cinemas are closed. The restaurants are closed. Trains, a lot of trains here in Western Queensland, for example, there's no trains out to Western Queensland. Now, we know around the world there's situations like that. Some places they're running. Even the libraries are shut, by the way. So I just wanted to conclude on that point and say that more and more people should ask the question about it. Ask these questions, that's all. Write to your local newspaper. Ring up your talkback radio and say, mention the name of it. I'll get the name of you guys. I'll put it in the notes there in a moment. Why can't they use that and get our society back on track and moving again? People are getting sick of being virtually under home detention. All right, so I'm putting that idea out there now, and I want your polite and civil questions and suggestions and whatever you like. I'm not spreading conspiracy theories, guys. I'm just telling you that's what I believe has happened, but I do want to know why it hasn't been put all around the world that if this thing works, if this medication works, get it out there. So, all right, thank you for viewing.